going on, growers? It's James Prigioni coming to you live from Jersey. Today, me and Tucker are going to share with you 7 tips for winterizing your garden. Let's go! For the first tip, let's start out with our raised beds. For most of my raised beds, I use them to grow through the whole entire winter. But let me show you what to do if your raised bed is finished for this season. I'll take you over to this bed over here. To start out, we want to remove all the dead and decaying plants from the bed. First off though, what I want to do, look at this guy, digging up some old carrots in there. I guess we left some carrots in here, so it looks like he's removed some of those. But the first thing that I want to do is remove the dead and decaying plants, the ones that have some pest or disease issues. Like this zucchini right here. This had some pest issues. So what I want to do is pull this out and then throw this right into the garbage can. I don't want to put this in my compost pile because it could have some pest issues and stuff. I don't want to spread that. So first, the things that have pest and disease issues, we'll get rid of those and throw them right into the garbage. Next, we want to remove the rest of the dead and decaying plants, and these ones we can throw right into the compost pile. Notice when I'm removing the plants, I'm shaking out as much of the soil as I can, so I'm just left with basically the plant and the roots. Now, I'm going to remove the wood chip mulch and lay that off to the side for now, because I'm going to be covering this bed with compost, and I do not want to bury the wood chips. There we go, all the dead and decaying plants are removed, and now we can get some of the compost down. Now, we want to start prepping this bed for spring. Throughout the growing season, we grew so much food in here, and it drained a lot of nutrition from the soil. So to compensate for that, what we're going to do is add a few inches of compost to the whole bed here. This is the perfect time to add our compost to the bed, because throughout the winter, the compost will break down, and as it rains, the nutrition from the compost will leach into the soil. And this is ideal heading into the rainy season. After our beds are top dressed with compost, next we want to add a layer of mulch. This is important because this layer of mulch is going to help protect our beds from a harsh winter, and also it will help suppress any weeds that are coming up. Another thing it will do is also prevent any weed seeds from blowing into our bed. 2 great options for mulching your bed is to use either leaves or wood chips. I prefer using leaves because they're light, easy to manage, and super easy to come by at this time of the year. Also, in the spring, we're going to be pulling back this mulch so we can plant directly into the soil. So leaves are also really easy to pull back. But if you find that you don't have any mulch, you could cover your bed with either cardboard or even like an old rug. What this will do is help suppress any weeds from coming up and also prevent any weed seeds from blowing into your bed. There we go. I got the whole bed covered thick with leaves. Now I'm just gonna wet these leaves down so they don't wanna blow away on me. There we go. This raised bed is all finished, winterized, and gonna be beautiful come spring. Now let's move over to a raised bed that we're gonna actually be growing in through the winter. Here is a raised bed that we will be growing in throughout the whole winter. So let me show you how I winterize this one. So the first thing we want to make sure is when we have plants in, that we have a nice thick mulch down. I like using wood chips because they really help insulate the soil so much and protect those roots. Another thing we need to do is make sure we protect these plants as it starts to get colder. So at this time of the year, when the nights are cold, what I like to do is use a row cover at this time of the year, because the row cover is a lot easier to manage than the plastic. Once it starts to get really cold out, I add my 2 layers of plastic. The 2 layers of plastic works incredibly well because each layer of plastic will bring me up 1.5 zones. So I'm in zone 7A with 2 layers of plastic that essentially allows me to be growing in zone 10A. I like to wait to put the plastic on as late as I possibly can, because when you put the plastic on, you need to make sure in the mornings that you come out and that you lift up this bed to allow it to air out. If you keep it closed with the plastic on it and the sun comes out, it's going to get really hot inside that bed and your plants are going to grow super leggy. Another thing that will happen is if you don't open the bed enough and allow enough air to pass through a lot of these plants and get in here, then it's going to be super humid, and humid to the point where you could start rotting some of your plants. So I like to put the plastic on as late as I can. Now that we know how to winterize our raised beds, next we're going to move on to the second tip, which is to make sure you harvest your tender veggies while you still can. So when a frost comes, our tender veggies, like our peppers and tomatoes, they're going to be gone for good. So we want to make sure we come out and grab them before the frost negatively affects them. So veggies like this, your peppers, you want to grab them when they're green, and you even want to grab a lot of your tomatoes when they're green, because the tomatoes will ripen inside. Just put them in a warm, dark place and they'll slowly ripen. But even if you don't want to wait for your tomatoes to ripen, you could still fry up some green tomatoes and they're absolutely delicious. So don't forget to get out there before a heavy frost and grab all the rest of your snacks. The third tip to winterize your garden is to prep your perennials for the winter. So this is going to take a different form based on what perennial we're actually prepping. When it comes to figs, what I have to do is take my figs, tie them up, cover them, and then stuff the inside of what I cover them with leaves. This insulates the fig tree and makes it so it doesn't die over the winter. When it comes to strawberries, it's a little different. So for my strawberries, once the ground freezes, I'll take some straw or some leaves and cover them over my strawberries. This way, throughout the winter, the strawberries aren't freezing and then thawing out. If that happens, then that kind of pushes the strawberries up out of the ground, and we don't want that. So one thing that's very important at this time of the year is that you do not do any pruning until your trees are in full dormancy. If you prune your trees in the fall when they're not dormant, that will actually stimulate more growth because pruning is a stimulant. So if you prune, you might get some new growth. That new growth will not be hardy enough to survive through the winter. So make sure you do not do any pruning at this time of the year. You also want to save some of your fertilizing for your fruit trees until the spring. The fourth tip to winterize your garden is to bring inside what you can. So we started a number of herbs in pots earlier in the season, early in the fall. This way we could bring these inside when the heavy frosts start to come. We'll bring this inside, stick it on a south-facing window, and be able to have fresh herbs throughout the winter. It won't grow fast, but it's still so nice to have some fresh herbs. Another thing we can do is take some of our potted peppers and bring them inside to allow them to go dormant. Then when the spring starts, we'll have big established peppers ready to grow. The last thing we can do is take some of our herbs that aren't cold hardy, like this rosemary right here. It doesn't always survive the winters here, so if we want, we could dig it up, pot it, and then bring it inside, allow it to go dormant, and then we can bring this back outside and plant it in the spring. This way we're not losing it through a harsh winter. The fifth tip to winterize the garden is to remove the trash. So if you grow fruit trees, one of the #1 places that pests like to harbor and stay in is the fallen fruit. It's super important to remove all this fallen fruit and not just throw it in the compost pile, but to throw it in the garbage. So another thing we want to do is, same with our raised beds, is we want to make sure we're removing any of the dead decaying plant matter that has any disease or pests. We want to throw that in the garbage. Any of the decaying plant matter that doesn't, we can put that right into our compost pile. Also at this time, we want to go around our fruit trees and see if there's any dead or diseased branches and take those out immediately and throw them in the trash. The sixth tip for winterizing your garden is to get your garlic planted. Let's get Doc some water here, he looks thirsty. So around here, fall is the perfect time to get your garlic into the ground, because what we want is our garlic to overwinter in the ground and then start growing the first nice days in the spring. So make sure at this time of the year, you get your garlic planted. The seventh and final tip to winterize your garden is to collect, apply, and store mulch. So now is the time to go out there and collect a bunch of mulch. So come spring, come summer, it's hard to find some good leaf mulch and other different kinds of mulch. But now is the time where people are just leaving the leaf mulch on the side of the roads. You can just collect all of it, use it on your beds, and even save it for the spring and summer. So utilize the time right now you have where you might not be in the garden that much. Keep your eyes open, find some local leaves that you could grab, store throughout the whole winter, and then use those in your garden in spring and summer. Don't buy mulch when it just falls from the trees for free. That's today's video, growers. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you picked up some information from these 7 tips that me and Tuck share with you on winterizing your garden. So I know that it's like one of those things where you're not thinking about spring at this time of the year. You're just seeing how your garden is like slowly going to sleep, getting sadder, all the leaves are dropping to the ground. But right now is the time to make the big investments that will pay off in the spring and summer. Gardening, so much about gardening is about setting things up so that it can excel later in the future. So if you want to have a great garden, you need to get to work way before spring starts. So winterizing your garden with these tips will greatly increase your harvest the next year, but it will also make things so much easier. We want to do as much work as we can in the fall and winter. This way, when spring comes and it's the busy season, there's not as many things to do. We can just focus on getting our plants into the ground and having them grow instead of trying to get all of our beds and everything ready. So I think it's really valuable to do a lot of the work in the fall. Tuck had an absolute blast out here with me. He's really starting to enjoy the cooler weather. The both of us. It got really hot in the summer. This guy hasn't been doing fantastic in the summer. The heat isn't necessarily great for this guy now that he's getting a little older. He's got a few issues that I'll talk about in a future video. But we had a lot of fun. We hope you guys did too. We hope you got some value out of this video and also, you know, a little bit of enjoyment. So what me and Tuck try to do, like we've talked about before, is get as many people as possible growing their own food. And we want to encourage you to expand your garden if you started one last year, or just try to take on a little bit more. If you're smart about it, if you prep right, it won't even seem like that much more work, as long as you kind of, you know, you set up the beautiful scenario for things to work out. So again, we had a lot of fun. We want to mention to grab some of the merch down at jamesprigioni.com. The fall merch won't be around for much longer, so if you do want a sweatshirt, a shirt, anything like that, grab one. We also wanted to give a thank you for one of our new channel members, Marianne Monagle. I hope I said your name right, and we're so thankful that you're contributing. Like I always say, you have your hand, just do a little pan in everything we're doing back here. So even though the leaves are falling, and it's because it is fall, there's still a lot of things growing. We still have plenty of brassicas and stuff that we need to harvest. So the weather might be getting cooler, but that's not slowing down me and Tuck. We'll be back to you again real soon. We out.